What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode here on the No Idea channel. And if you've been following our channel, you've been seeing that we have been pounding the bottoms every Friday this ice fishing season. And now we have some fish to clean. And so in this episode, we want to share with you how the No Idea boys fillet some fish. So come along. I'm sure that if you poll 100 fishermen and you ask them, how do you clean your fish? You're probably going to get 100 different ways of how to fillet a fish. So this episode really isn't a here's how you do it. This episode is here's how we do it, and we'd love to hear from you. Number one rule, find a place where you and your spouse both agree that fish can be cleaned. Another thing is find a good knife. I'm using a basic Rapala knife right here that you can find at any outdoor hardware store. I also have the Alaskan knives. This one is a bit of an overkill for panfish. This is actually their coho knife, fillet knife. So this is meant for bigger fish. And this is a 13-inch blade right here. So that's a massive blade. So just find a knife, a fillet knife that you like. Now the first thing that you need to do and you need to remember is you need to have a sharp knife, because one thing about filleting fish is fish scales and fish bones will dull a knife quicker than anything else. So what I like to do is I like to make sure that I have a good knife sharpener and that I sharpen my knives frequently while I'm cleaning them. When you sharpen your knife, make sure you have a clean knife and a good sharpener. And the one I'm working with is called the Work Sharp. This is perfect. I throw it in my pocket so when I'm out in the field, I can sharpen a knife really quick. This is pretty simple. Diamond plate. It's also got the fine and the leather right here, so it is awesome, and I strongly recommend this one. I'll provide a link down below in the show. All right, so here you go. We got a really nice sunny right here that we caught over the weekend on this episode that you can watch. Where we pounded the bottoms, and it was a pretty good and awesome time. So here we go. So the very first thing, again, sharp knife is a key here. So the very first thing I do is I like to flip this up and go right behind the gill plate, and I cut right along the gill plate, just like this. Now, one way that you can do this is you can turn your knife here, and you can slide it right out. You can cut it right out, including the rib cage as well. I'm not good enough at doing that, and I feel like I waste and leave a lot of meat still on the fish. So what I like to do, and it takes a lot more time to do this, is I like to go slower. And so I take the point of the knife and I just work along the back right here till I get down to right about here. Then I punch it through to the other side of the bottom there, and I bring it right out to the tail. I don't cut all the way through. I stop right there. Then I flip around, and along the underside, the belly, I complete the cut right down there. Now what I do is I take my thumb, I peel this back, and I start working it right down the back of the fish like that. And I get to the rib cage just like that. Then what I do is I tease away the meat, slowly pulling it apart, going like this, right down the rib cage, like this, so that most of the rib cage just stays on the or in the fish, like that. Perfect, just like that, all the way down. Now, instead of cutting this off the skin, what I do is I fold it back over, keep it there because I just feel it makes it easier to fillet this side as well. But again, find the gill plate, cut right down the gill plate like this. I find there's some really good belly fat or belly meat down here, so I like to grab that as best I can, and I work it right along. Now I poke it up through the top, come right down like that, flip it over, and then I work right down this one, right down the back like this. Take my thumb, peel it right through, or peel it right back, and like I said, slowly Slowly work it right down, just like this. You get right up in there into the rib meat. Cut it all the way down. Now again, this is the way I like to do it. It doesn't mean that's the right way. Kind of left a little meat there. Now what I do is I grab right there and I take the fillet off of the skin. And what I do is I simply put my knife up just like that, and I work it right off the skin just like this. Perfect, like that. Now, so there's one fillet. Flip it over, and I will do the second fillet same way. Take it right off like that. There is called a pin bone. Right here, you can still feel it. There's a pin bone right here. Many people call this the zipper method, or I think they call it pant legging. But what you want to do is you want to take your knife, cut it right up here, other side of the pin bone right there, and then you cut it off like this. And the reason that they call it pant leg is because now you have two pant legs, just like that. That's free of bones, and so there is your panfish fillet, and it's all ready. That's how the No Idea boys fillet a panfish. And like I said, I would love for you to take some time, comment down below, share your tricks or your tips to filleting fish. Maybe share the method that you use, and there might be a different method out there that no one has heard about. That would be awesome if you could share it down below. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, we'd love for you to subscribe to the No Idea channel. Like this video, turn on the notifications. Okay, good talk. See you out there.